I missed your question there, Latuna. When it comes back up, I'll try to put it up here so I can read it and see if I can answer it for you. Chapter 2, verse 25, for circumcision indeed profits if you practice the law, but if you are a transgressor of the law, your circumcision has become uncircumcision. Okay? So if an uncircumcision one watches over the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be reckoned as circumcision? Saying that if the person who is uncircumcised is keeping the law, would not his uncircumcision be considered circumcision? Is what's being said there. So, and the uncircumcision by nature, meaning the Gentiles who perfects the law or who keeps the law in maturity in a sense, shall judge you who, notwithstanding the letter and circumcision, are a transgressor of the law. For he is not a Yahudi who is so outwardly, neither is circumcision that which is outward in the flesh. But a Yahudi is he who is so inward or inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in spirit and not literally, whose praise is not from men but from Elohim. So that's what all that means there about circumcision of the heart. That's true circumcision. Does a woman need to cover her hair still? Angela, it depends on what's going on with you. But again, let's go to Romans, or excuse me, 1 Corinthians. What's Palal? Just Meli. Palal is prayer in Hebrew. Okay. Let's see, where should we start? Because of this, a woman ought to have authority on her head because of the messengers or the angels. Okay. However, man is not independent of the woman, nor the woman independent of the man in the master. For as a woman was from the man, even so the man also is through the woman, but all are from Elohim. Judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to Elohim with her head uncovered? Does not nature itself teach you that if a man indeed has long hair, it is a disrespect to him? And if a woman has long hair, it is an esteem to her, because the long hair has been given to her over against a veil. Okay, so her hair, your hair, this is why I said it depends on your head. Your hair, women, is your veil. That's your covering as far as when you're praying or you're prophesying, it's your hair. Now, there are people who like to actually take a shawl or whatever and put it over their head. All right. But again, as we continue to read, if, however, anyone seems to be contentious, we do not have such a habit. Some of your translations may say, have such a custom, nor do the assemblies of Elohim. You see that? There's no such custom. We don't have that in the assembly. Your hair is your veil. Now, if you're bald-headed because you chose to be bald-headed, like you took a Nazirite vow, that'd be different. Okay, because a woman can take a Nazirite vow and then you would cover your head when it's time to pray or prophesy. But if you have hair and you didn't take a Nazirite vow, you didn't cut all your hair off, then you can have, your hair becomes your veil. Ivy, what are you saying? What verse is what? About our hair being a veil. Oh, it's right here. Verse 15. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 15. And if a woman has long hair, it is an esteem to her, because the long hair has been given to her over against a veil. Your hair is your veil. your long hair. Blessed love, a Nazarite vow is that when you cut the hair, you shave it, and then you don't allow the razor to come to your hair. But then you shave it again, because again, there's those of us who will shave our head to take a Nazarite vow. A Nazarite vow is one who puts themselves apart. They don't drink any alcohol or strong drink, no wine. They don't touch any dead thing. They dedicate their life to Yahuwah. Yes, exactly, Samson. Swank. He was not to cut his hair off at that point. Men taking off their hats in church is actually exposure for them. Yeah. Don't you need a Levitical priest to take a Nazarite vow? Yosef, there is no longer a Levitical priesthood. That was done away with our high priest, known as the Messiah, Yahusha. We are now under the order of Malach Zadok. You may know it as Melchizedek. And this is why we are all, those who are believers, are of the priests. We are a people or a nation of priests, kings and priests. Rosalie, there is many laws, but not all the laws are you to follow. Some laws belong to men, some laws belong to women, some laws belong to children, some to animals that you have and care for yourselves. And then there's also these sacrificial laws, which we don't do anymore because they have been done away with by the Messiah for what he has done for us on the tree. I'm confused about covering the head or not. What do you mean, Vaylord? Angela, it's the way we take care of our animals. Not that the animals obey the laws. It's, some of the laws are for animals, like what I mean by, how you take care of your animals. I mean, you said it's exposure for a man to not cover. It's exposure for a man to not cover. Now you have me confused. It's exposure to man to not cover. Well, so if I'm understanding you, a man does not have a covering other than the Messiah. Okay, so like if you go back and you read this whole part about covering, chapter 11. So let's read this. Become imitators of me. This is what Shaul Paul is saying, as I also am of the Messiah. And I praise you, brothers, that you remember me in every way and keep the traditions that I have delivered them to you. And I wish you to know that the head of every man is the Messiah, and the head of a woman is the man, and the head of the Messiah is Elohim. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered brings shame to his head. Okay? And that means to the Messiah, hence why the H is capitalized in head. Every woman praying or prophesying with her head uncovered brings shame to her head, for that is one and the same as if her head was shaved or were shaved. For if a woman is not covered, let her also be shorn or scorned. But if it is a shame for a woman, to be shorn or shaved, let her be covered. Again, if your head is shaved or like I don't want to say that you're taking some kind of thing and all of a sudden you have an issue where your hair is falling out, then you should be covered if you're going to be praying or prophesying. For a man indeed should not cover his head, since he is the likeness and the esteem of Elohim, but woman is the esteem of man. For man is not from woman, but the woman from the man. For man also was not created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Because of this, woman ought to have authority on her head because of the messengers, because of the angels. So this, what Shaul's talking about here, he's taking it back to the Garden of Eden, what happened with Kahua, also known as Eve, how she was deceived by the messenger, Satan. However, man is not independent or by himself of the woman, nor the woman independent or by herself of the man in the master. In the master, that's the key. For as a woman was from the man, even so the man also through the woman. But all are from Elohim. Okay? So he says, judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to Elohim with her head uncovered? Does not nature itself teach you that if a man indeed has long hair, it is disrespect to him? And if a woman has long hair, it is an esteem to her, because the long hair has been given to her over against a veil, meaning that her hair is her veil. If, however, anyone seems to be contentious, verse 16 is the key. Again, if, however, anyone seems to be contentious or want to talk about this in a way that they want to strive about it and argue about it, we don't have such a habit or a custom, nor do the assembly of Elohim, meaning that we don't follow all of this. This isn't the way we are. Yes, exactly. So some people will look at somebody with long hair that's a man and say, oh, you got long hair. The scripture speaks against that. We have no custom in the assembly of Elohim. We have no custom, nor do the assemblies of Elohim. So for example, since I'm losing my hairs, I should cover my head as a man? No. We have no custom like that. We have no custom like that, Vaylord. There has to be a faction among you so that a proved one can be revealed. Brother Jimmy, have you come across Constantine's creed? Yes, I have. What about unclean food? Angela, go to Leviticus chapter 11, and you'll get your list of what is clean and what is unclean. Yes, Carmen, as a man can have long hair, just like Samson had long hair. How long is too long of hair for a man? Mine is around 3 inches long. We have no such custom, again, Drebby. Yes, I'm sure some of you are tired and we've been here all day. Let's pray. Heavenly Abba, we come before you in the mighty name of Yahusha. We thank you for this time that we were able to come together and have this time together where we can speak of your word and allowing you to bring out truth to us, O Yah. May you continue to lead us and guide us by your Ruach HaKodash. We palal for those, O Abba, who was in this room earlier, who have heard your word, your message about your laws, about your commandments, of your ordinances, and what it means that you have taken the curse away from us. Abba, we ask that you would open up their eyes to your truth. May we not be deceived by the enemy. May we not continue to do what we think is right in our own eyes, O Yah. For we know that there are things that seems right to a person, but it leads to death. And so we ask, O Yah, that you help us to continue to seek you out May we seek you with all of our heart, with all of our mind, and with all of our strength. For you say, when we do this, then we shall find you, and you will hear and answer us. Abba, I pray for all my brothers and sisters, the mishpachah, the family. I ask that you will continue to have a hedge of protection around us and our family members. We ask that you prepare your people for the things that are about to come upon this world. Abba, if we are to be unalived, we ask that you strengthen us, that you give us the courage and the zeal and the boldness to be able to handle, to withstand whatever should be brought our way, for you have promised us that you would be there in that time of need, that you would help us with a little help, that you would help us, O Yah, to overcome these obstacles. Abba, may we continue to pray for one another, to palal for each other. May we continue to love on one another, as you have said, for this is how they will know that you are my Kadashim, that you have love one for another. We thank you again for this time. We thank you again, O Yah, for this moment. We thank you for this platform called TikTok while we have it, that you allow us to be able to come together in unison, in your name, in the name of Yahusha, the name that has been given to us that is above all names. We give you the praise, we give you the honor, and we give you the